Hello, everybody. Hi, welcome back. Thanks to those of you who were on the earlier live stream today with Satoshi, the practice live stream. Thank you so much. And I see some of you guys have come back, so thank you. I really appreciate it. And I do have to say, as always, thank you to my moderators for being here. I can't believe you guys are awake for this. Mindy's mom and Lady Murasaki, arigato gozaimasu. So as you can see from the thumbnail today, it's all about ramen, and I'm kind of excited because I haven't seen this guy in ages. I think the last time we saw Frank from 5 a.m. Ramen was, we bumped into him in Asakusa. I think he was on a ramen tour. He was taking people on a ramen tour, and that was the last time we saw him. But anyway, I will bring Frank in right now. Where is he? There we go. Hello, Frank.
Hey, thanks for having me, Shinichi.
It's my pleasure. It's been so long. I was just telling everybody the last time we saw each other was when we bumped into each other on the street. I think that was the last time, right?
Yeah, that was ages ago. Asakusa, right?
Asakusa.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. My God, that was in the winter sometime, maybe January or before that.
It was January, yeah. And then before all this craziness started happening, we're actually planning to film 2 videos. Remember?
Yes.
And then all those plans got canceled.
That they did. Well, we're making up for it now. Happy to see you're both doing well.
Yeah, and thank you everybody for being here. Everyone's saying hello to you, Frank.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, so Frank, maybe why don't you introduce yourself to people here? I'm sure there are a lot of people who've never heard of you. I'll let you do the honors.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone, I'm Frank. I love ramen. I have a channel called 5 a.m. Ramen, and I eat ramen for a living. Very thankful about that. And of course, I've done some great collabs with both Shinichi and Satoshi. We go out and eat ramen. Those got sidelined a little bit for given the current situation, but hope to eat some more ramen with these two in the future.
Yes. And so もし日本人の人がいたらフランクです。はい、日本に住んでます。日本人ですよね。
フランクどうします？まあフィリピン系アメリカ人なんですけど、そうですね、日本に。まあずっと前から日本に住んでまして。
そう、実はね、日本語はね、僕よりも全然うまいの。
いや、
それね、もう本当な事実なんで、多分僕の方が、なんていうの、外人。
いや、僕もそうですよ。
本当に？いや、そんなことないと思う。Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of people ask, in the comments, they're confused. They're like, is Frank Japanese? And there's one comment that's saying, why is a foreigner talking about ramen? Or why is a foreigner talking about ramen?
That's a fair point.
But you were born and raised here, right?
Born and raised here. I'm not Japanese, Filipino and American, but spent my whole life in Tokyo. And so in some ways, maybe my heart is Japanese. And definitely the love of ramen is part of that.
Yeah. Have you ever lived elsewhere?
Not really. Outside of college in the US, that was pretty much it. So just 4 years there. I came right back after. Maybe the ramen called me back, and I've been in Tokyo ever since.
Okay. All right. So, guys, today we're going to talk about ramen. And, if you guys have any questions related to ramen or what's happening in the ramen scene in Tokyo right now, please feel free to ask. And while we do that, we are going to get our ramen ready. We have some of our favorite instant ramen from the convenience store. And these are famous restaurants, right? This is like a collaboration. They do like a collaboration, right? With the convenience store. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I have, guys. I have sumire. And I gotta say, it's one of my favorite instant ramens. It could possibly be my favorite and we know when it comes to instant ramen. And Sumire has a place in my heart because before Sumire, I didn't like miso ramen. I didn't, Frank. I didn't at all. I thought
So
miso ramen.
Sumida converted you. I'm happy to hear that.
Sumire converted me.
Yeah.
It really did. And we went all the way to Hokkaido. It was my birthday.
Yeah.
It was really cold. It was in the winter because my birthday's in January. And I was in such a bad mood because it was so cold. I thought I was going to die. And this restaurant is not really in the middle of the city. It was kind of like an obscure place in Hokkaido. We're walking in the snow and we got there. And I was so happy that we made it there. It was amazing. This converted me, and since then, miso ramen is probably my second favorite ramen. I think. Ramen, yeah. So
that's a great miso ramen story. And I think a great way to reintroduce yourself to miso ramen. So I've got Nakiryu. Basically, so Nakiryu was the second ramen shop to get a Michelin star after Tsuta, and then right before Soba House Konjiki Hototogisu. And I've got their ramen here, their spicy tantamen. And this is a delicious one.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, a lot of times when I try these collaboration ramen at the instant ramen, sometimes I'm disappointed. But most of the time, I'm surprised at how good they are. For instant, for like
absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I think during this time, it's just such a great way to try and experience the ramen shop when we can't go out as much. And instant ramen has gotten a lot better in the last, 10, 20 years. It's crazy how good it is.
It really is. It really is. Have you ever tried, Frank? Have you tried the what do you call it? They also have like Sumire, Ippodo, and another one, Tomita. But the one where they're using
the microwavable run, the microwavable ones. Yeah. I have. They're very good.
Really?
Yeah. It of course, nothing beats the ramen shop. We were talking about this I think earlier, but given that it's about half the price what you get at a ramen shop, and there's instant ramen, and then I think with a microwavable version, the ingredients are that much fresher, a little bit fresher, right?
Yeah.
So I would recommend it. So they've got Sumida there still too, right? What you have there, you should try the microwavable one.
Yeah, I actually haven't tried that one. If you tried both, which do you think is better, this one or the microwavable one?
The microwavable one is just a little bit fresher, right? Because it's got a shorter shelf life. The soup is actually there and everything, but it's crazy how close that I think gets to the microwavable one, and then how close the microwavable one gets to the actual ramen. So they've done a good job. Yeah, try it. You'll love it.
Yeah. Okay. So, Frank, it is one of our viewers, I should say friends, because I have met her in person a few times. Her name is Pamela from Israel. She lives in Israel right now. Originally from the UK, and she lives in Israel. Okay. But it's her birthday.
Oh.
And so we usually sing happy birthday when someone has a birthday. So are you ready to sing with me?
Well, if I sing, I think you're gonna have like 10 people drop off at least. But I'm happy to sing happy birthday anyway.
Oh my God, I've never heard Frank sing. I've seen him dance. He dances amazing.
Maybe no. Well, my singing is worse than the dancing, so I think I don't want to shock everyone. But happy to sing happy birthday for Pamela.
Awesome. Okay, so you ready? So
yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday, dear Pamela. Happy birthday to you. I think our audio was going, not syncing. I was trying to follow, but we did a good job. I think,
Probably.
We have another career in store after this.
Definitely. Happy birthday, Pamela.
Happy birthday, Pamela.
I hope you have a very special day. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so let's make our ramen, shall we?
Sounds good. Got my hot
Okay.
water here.
Yeah. So
Let's do this.
you know, now I'm kind of sad because they no longer have Sumire, this restaurant in Tokyo. They used to have one,
Yeah.
right?
You know what? I think
Sure.
they were opening up a shop in Shin Yokohama,
Really?
if I
Shin Yokohama?
remember. Yeah, they might have opened it
Oh,
actually in February.
is that
You know,
right?
I don't know what's happened with the current situation, but I think they might have. We should go. I mean, when things are, when it's okay to go out and everything.
Definitely.
Um,
Wow, that would be great. I was actually talking to Satoshi today. I said after all this
hmm,
craziness is over, I am willing to fly all the way to Hokkaido just to try Sumire. You
yes.
know? Okay, so
I
this one, yeah.
Oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. No, I had nothing. I was just saying that sounds good.
Yeah, so this one looks like that. Is this
I've already
Chijire?
poured in the. Yeah, I think they've got a little bit of curliness there. I've already poured in the water.
Oh, you
My
did?
noodles. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting
Okay.
ahead of myself. So I already
That's
got the.
okay. Does yours have any kayaku in it? So
It
this is
does. The kayak is right here. I'm gonna put this
oh,
in and cook them.
okay. So
I'm gonna do that right now.
in Frank,
Adding that inside.
do you cook at home?
I do. I
You
don't
do?
cook ramen nearly as good as even this instant ramen, but
Yeah.
yeah, you both cook. I think you make some mean dishes, right?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad for
Not
amateur.
bad. I'm sure it's good.
Do you make ramen at home? Like have you ever made it from scratch?
So a little bit of from scratch, but also with some shortcuts. But I think like, with this whole situation,
Hmm.
even for the YouTube channel, I think it would be fun to make more ramen from scratch. It's kind of an opportunity to do that. How about on your side? Have you guys made ramen from scratch before? Or
We have a long time ago. We did this YouTube thing.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's when um, you know who used to work there, and
Mm.
we went through this program, and we had to make video. We had to do collaboration videos, and since we were a cooking channel back then, we decided to
Ah,
do
that's
ramen.
right.
Yeah, we decided to do ramen, and it wasn't too bad. But Satoshi recently has perfected a shoyu ramen soup, and
Oh,
oh, it was amazing. It
I'm
really
so
was.
happy to hear that.
Yeah, I honestly can say the shoyu ramen that he made, the soup,
Yeah,
was better than a lot of you know shops out there as
that
far as
is
shoyu
awesome.
ramen is concerned. So maybe one day, we'll make it for you.
What's he gonna name the ramen shop? Satoshi's
Hmm.
Ramen House.
Satoshi's
Tabi
ramen.
Eats. You can
Huh.
have the Tabi Eats logo there too, in the corner.
Uh-oh, I seem to be mirrored. Okay, I am mirrored, aren't I? Okay, sorry guys. I can
Oh,
fix
is that
that.
what the comments say? I added
Yeah,
the
there we
the
go.
con
There we
I feel like
go.
a stockbroker. I've got the phone here and then I've got the comments on a monitor on the side here, like kind of looking at both.
Right. And we got a bowl of ramen as well.
And while we're doing the ramen here, multitasking. I
Right.
love it.
Okay, so mine says it's 4 minutes. By the way, guys, you can buy this Sumida ramen at 7-Eleven. Is it just 7-Eleven that you can buy it from, Frank? Do you know?
I think Sumida is exclusively at 7-Eleven. They don't sell it at
Oh,
the other convenience stores. Same as Nakido, the one I have. They only sell it at 7-Eleven.
really? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Hello, Simon. Simon is another YouTuber who lives in Belgium, and he does
Cool.
live streaming as well. Yeah, he's online here.
Very cool.
Yeah. So once again, guys, if you have any questions regarding ramen, please write it down here. I'll try to make sure I look at the comments. Yeah. Sorry. Okay. So mine is 4 minutes. Here's a question I have for you, Frank. Okay.
Yes.
So I like my noodles a little on the firmer side. I don't like it
Mm-mm-mm.
soggy. So if my ramen says 4 minutes, I usually cook it for a little shorter time. Well, how about you?
Yeah, I do the same. I
You do
do
the
like a
same?
little more bite to my noodles, and I
Yeah.
think, if it says 3 minutes, right? Maybe 2:30 as you're probably doing is good. Also
Yeah.
because, as you're eating it, it continues to cook. So I think just chopping off maybe like 30 seconds or even 45 seconds is helpful.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Because Satoshi is the type where he'll like if it says 3 minutes, he'll wait
Yeah.
exactly 3 minutes. He'll put a timer
Mm-mm-mm.
in three
Right,
minutes.
right, right.
But even my soup, I don't like to put it to the line. I sometimes feel like it becomes a little
Mm,
diluted for me. Um,
right, right.
yeah. Okay, so I think mine is ready. I don't know. I think so, right?
I think it should be good. By the time we're talking, mine looks I think ready to go as well.
Yeah.
Well,
So
mine's
Chris,
shorter. Mine's 3 minutes. A
three
little thinner
minutes.
noodles,
Okay.
but
So Frank, Chris Hansen is asking, what
yeah.
other type of soup dishes does Frank
Frankie.
eat and try? And have you eaten all over Asia? So that's two questions.
Yeah, maybe for the first question, I love soups in general, whether it's I don't know, a gazpacho, if you can consider that a
Oh,
soup, a
gazpacho.
cold, yeah, something like that, or of
Yeah.
course ramen, or even other Asian dishes, in other Asian countries, whether it's here in East Asia or maybe in Southeast Asia. I love all soups, and if that soup includes ramen noodles, even better, or just noodles, even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think like you know, both of you, I've traveled a fair amount in Asia, and yeah, I love having noodles around the world, whether it's laksa in Singapore,
Oh, I love it.
ramen in Japan, or cold noodles in Korea.
Oh yeah, delicious, delicious. And actually, there are
Delicious.
quite a number of questions for you. What is your favorite season in Japan and why?
Ah, great question. As I'm answering that, I'm gonna pour in the liquid here.
Yep.
This is the ekitai soup. I'm gonna put that in. This is the chili oil. Maybe I can get a shot of the chili oil going in because it's quite
Oh yeah.
red, dramatically red here. Can everyone see that? That's
The
I'm just worried I'm gonna spill it here. I'm over. That's gonna be a very different live stream. But as to my favorite season, I feel like emotionally, even though the Japanese like summer is so insanely hot, I really like the summers here just because the trees, the vegetation, it's such a lush like green.
yeah, yeah.
And despite the humidity, just being able to walk around in flip-flops, the fireworks, the matsuri, the festivals, it's just such a magical time
It
uh,
is. It
in
is.
Japan. How about for you guys? Do you have a favorite season? I mean, all seasons are great, of course, but
Well, Satoshi is definitely summer. He always
summer.
says summer. He's always complaining about the heat, of course, but he really likes summertime. There's something, like you said, magical about summer. And our summers in Japan are quite short as well compared to our
Mhm.
winters. So, it doesn't last that long. For me, I like summer only because I can be in shorts and flip flops.
Right, right.
But like if I have to get dressed up for something, I refuse to do so. I can't even stand being in jeans during the summer because I'll just die. And
It's too hot.
it's too hot. And although I love fireworks, I cannot tolerate the crowds.
Well, it's funny that I mentioned that too. I talk about these great fireworks festivals, but I don't know when I've gone outside of watching it from my balcony or on TV, just
Oh,
because it gets
oh,
so
that's
crowded, right?
cool. Yeah, you can see the fireworks from your balcony, Frank.
Well, it depends on the fireworks, like Sumida, like the ones over there are way too far. And as we're saying that, I'm gonna pour in the chimajan, the sesame paste here. Maybe
Oh
everyone
yeah.
can see a little bit.
Yeah, Satoshi and we tried that one too, and I gotta say that sesame paste really makes it amazing.
It is so good. Between this one and the soupless one, did you prefer one or the other? Oh, it was just different.
It's different, but personally, maybe it was because I was in the mood for something a little bit spicier. I prefer the dry
Mhm.
one,
Right,
the
right.
soupless one. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that spiciness is locked in a little bit more, and I don't it hits you a bit more than this one, I think, right?
right. L Ramsey says, "Do you guys add
Yes.
egg to your instant ramen?"
That's a
Hmm,
good question.
that is.
I haven't done it that much myself, but you know, in the
Oh,
next
me
few
neither.
days, I'm going to be making some ramen eggs, so it could be a good thing to add to instant ramen.
True,
Um,
true. That is a good question. I haven't done that either. Okay. Okay, so this is what mine looks like. Here's the noodles.
ooh, look at that. That looks so good.
Oh, yeah. It smells amazing. But for me, it's all about the soup. When it comes to sumire, the soup is amazing. It has all these like ground meat and green onions. I can't get it to show on the camera, but the smell is amazing. Mm. Did you eat dinner already, Frank?
I haven't, but I had actually 5 instant ramen earlier today.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
really?
I don't normally do that many in a day, so this is technically my sixth one of the day.
Whoa,
But they
really?
were all soupless. Yeah, no, just because I was doing a YouTube, I was doing some filming. So
Oh, right, right, right. Sorry, sorry. Yes. By the
oh
way,
no no
guys.
no no worries.
No, 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 no. If you didn't know already, Frank also has a YouTube channel in addition to his ramen tours. Frank does ramen tours here in Tokyo. Obviously, right now, no, because of the circumstances. But he does have a YouTube channel, and he has a lot of interesting videos. So I'm gonna put a link in this chat here,
Oh, thank
guys.
you.
So please check it out. Very, very informative, and you'll learn a lot about ramen. I certainly learned a lot about ramen through Frank. Definitely through the tour that he took us on. That was very, very interesting for me. That was very interesting. I really enjoyed
Good
it.
times. Good
Yeah.
times. No,
I
thank you
actually
for joining.
almost forgot that we were filming. That's how like into it I was in. I mean, it was so fun. Really.
I had fun too. Well, I think always filming with you both, like I always have such a great time. I think all of your viewers know this, but you two, like, you're just so you're just so fun to work with. I think, like, you
Oh,
know, and
thank
you love
you.
food.
Uh,
Yeah. And I say work with, it's not like we're working, it's just enjoying, you know, like you sometimes forget the camera's there. So
right,
and
right.
I mean that, yeah.
I think the only time it felt like work was when it was raining. You remember?
Ah,
All
yeah.
day long, and then the second time it felt like it was work, like we were forced to continue working, was when
Mm-hmm.
you and Satoshi was suffering from the spicy ramen.
Oh my God.
Remember that
That was,
one?
oh my God.
I was so
Yeah.
worried. I,
Oh my
I, I
God.
really thought like you had to go home, and I felt like maybe
Um,
I should have you go home because I've never seen you like that.
no, I think Satoshi too, my God, he was a champ. I think it hit me harder first, right? And then maybe
Oh yeah,
Satoshi a little bit later. Oh my
yes.
God, that was insane. But a
Oh,
lot of fun, and it makes for a great story, right?
true, true. じゃあ、いただきます。I'm gonna get
いただきます.
my soup first.
I forgot my renge, my spoon. So I'll start maybe with by
That's
showing off
okay.
the noodles here.
うん、
How's that
美味しい。
soup?
Oh, it's amazing. This Sumire's miso ramen is so different from like the your typical miso ramen. I think it's I always thought miso ramen in Hokkaido always had to have corn and butter on the top.
Mm-mm-mm.
This one doesn't have either, and the miso is such a deep sort of
It's
miso.
deep.
It's so deep. I love it so much. It's so good. If you guys never tried
Sumire
it,
is
please
excellent.
try it. It's so good. I don't know if they sell it in America. Maybe you could get it online. I'm not sure. I know one of you guys just asked like where can I get the Michelin star ramen online, or where can I buy it outside of Japan? Would you know that, Frank?
Yeah, this is something I think that, you know, needs to be done as well, like just being able to get it outside. Because I think as you've seen at 7-Eleven, this one, like they've got it like in abundance, right? I don't know
They
how many
do.
they made, like, but
Yeah.
this is always available. Here are the noodles in mine.
Mm.
But I think for now, yeah, unfortunately, it's not available outside of Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So very silky, thin noodles in mine here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Good?
Mm.
You bet you're gonna be having ramen for breakfast in a few minutes.
Yes.
uh
Oh, so good.
it's good. I know. The quality is so high. The instant ramen, noodles.
So high.
Oh, listen, Magpie 2019 says, has
Mhm.
Frank tried the ghost pepper ramen? Have you tried that one?
I haven't actually. It's on my to-do list. I need to try it.
Let me
Have
tell
you
you.
both tried it?
Yeah. We were sent that from our
Mm.
friend in Singapore,
Mhm.
and oh, Frank, Satoshi finished his. It was really hot for him too. And Frank, this one I was determined to finish. I had, I think, one third of it, and I had to stop. I
Hey,
actually felt like I was going to start to hallucinate.
oh my
Like
God.
I felt like I was like floating out of my own body. It was scary.
That's
It
a
was
very appropriate, I think, way to describe it when it's called ghost pepper. You're kind of like a ghost there. You're seeing ghosts, I guess, right?
so true. So
Hey, but
true.
that's impressive that you did one third of it, you know? I think, most people probably have trouble even with that first bite, and it sounds like it was crazy spicy.
It was for me. I'm definitely nothing compared to the one you guys had at the restaurant. Satoshi says definitely, you can't even compare those two. Like this one, he could actually finish.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And Satoshi has a great spice tolerance, you know? I think between the three of us, probably the best, right?
probably,
Yeah.
probably. Listen, Dark Paracord, our friend in Singapore, is asking,
Mhm.
Frank is having so much instant ramen. Isn't it unhealthy?
You're absolutely right. It's not the healthiest thing,
Hmm.
um, but I think balance is key. Like, so today I did six. Tomorrow I will be eating vegetables, I think, all day and
Mm,
taking a little break from instant ramen.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
It hits the spot, but I think balance is always key, right?
True, it is. But how many bowls of ramen do you eat in a year? I forgot. It's a lot, I know.
So usually 300 to about 350, depending on the year. But I think last year I did almost 400.
400 bowls of
Um,
ramen.
I think last year was my record. I think I did 400 last year. But I always say 3 to 350. That's normally the average.
Is that including instant ramen? Or
So I wouldn't eat instant ramen as much as I have now. I think
yeah.
because of the current situation, I'm like re-exploring instant ramen, which has been a lot of fun. But
Mm-hmm,
that count doesn't include instant ramen. But
mm-hmm.
maybe for this year, if I may, I'll include the instant ramen as part of that tally, just because I'm having so much of it.
Yeah. So yeah, Dark Park Paracord and um sorry, and Joy, yes, he eats that many bowls of ramen a year. It's insane. More than
Love
one
it, love it.
a day. Sometimes, like you were just telling me earlier, Frank, that today you had instant ramen, right? Before
Mhm,
this,
mhm.
right? You had like six. Did you have six
So
bowls of
no,
ramen?
no, this is my sixth. But that was very unusual, just because I was filming. I wanted to do, I wanted to do a bunch in one sitting.
Yes.
But yeah, today was six.
I think that's common for YouTubers, food YouTubers. I think it's the same with us. Like we would
Yeah,
never eat the way we do on video. Like
yeah.
if it weren't for filming. Um, Today we were supposed to film, because we're staying indoors now, and we can't go out. We thought, we order through Uber Eats, Kokoichi Kare, and
Oh
get
yeah.
yeah, and get all the toppings. They have 18
Oh,
toppings.
nice.
Yeah,
How
but
was that? Oh, go ahead.
we haven't tried it because I knew I was going to be eating ramen at 9 p.m. with you,
Uh,
and then I had a proper breakfast this morning. Usually, if we eat something like crazy like that, I'll
yeah.
try to skip breakfast and I don't eat anything after that
Mm-hmm.
because I can't. So instead, we did sushi today. We did supermarket sushi today.
Oh, that's okay. I'm sure it was good, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty good. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Certain things I wouldn't get again from that
Hmm.
particular supermarket, but it was not bad. Question for you again, Frank, by
Yes.
Little Liz Sunshine. Why is it
Yes.
called 5 a.m. ramen?
Very good question. 5 a.m. ramen. The idea was maybe that Tokyo is the only city where you could have amazing ramen at 5 a.m. and it kind of stuck.
Mm, mm. Okay, thank you. Yeah, and it seems like a lot of people want to know the answer to that. Interesting.
That's a good question.
And right, and then Foomp says, "Does ramen
Yes.
not make you fat?"
It certainly can make you fat, and I think like what we discussed earlier, I think balance is important, right? If you're
Yes.
only eating ramen, I mean, maybe I'm in some ways only eating ramen, but on days where I'm not eating ramen, I think it's important to have like nutritious food. Get vegetables, get your vegetable intake, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, ramen can put on the calories. But I also think like there are things there that are more unhealthy, right? Like if you're eating only fried food, fast food. For example, if you're eating at McDonald's every day, as delicious as it is, there's probably things that's maybe even more unhealthy than ramen.
Right. It's true. And sometimes I think about it. Satoshi and I, we talk about it a lot. For example, like even Yoshinoya gyudon is not particularly healthy. It's not deep fried. It's basically rice with meat, and there's hardly any vegetables there. So that's not particularly healthy. And a bowl of ramen with a lot of vegetables on top could be healthier compared to that.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Balance. Some things that are labeled healthy are not healthy. Some things that are labeled unhealthy are not as unhealthy as you might think.
True.
Absolutely.
And Irene is asking, can you recommend the best chicken ramen in Tokyo?
The best what ramen? Was it just best
chicken ramen?
Chicken ramen.
Thank you.
Chicken ramen. That's a good question. Best chicken ramen.
Chicken ramen is a difficult one, huh?
It is. I really like a place in Meguro called Menya Ishin. And they really highlight chicken in that ramen. So they have both shoyu and shio, or soy sauce and salt seasoning ramen, but they use a lot of parts of the chicken, like very premium grade chicken as well. Among chicken ramen shops, like that's one of my favorites, if not my favorite. It's a lighter kind of ramen, but it's really, really good. We should go there when things have calmed down. Maybe we can show everybody. It's really, really good ramen. We should.
This is something that I tell my viewers all the time. I tell you guys all the time. But it's true when I say that. Let me think about it. Yeah, I think it's true. Every single ramen place that Frank has taken us to, they've been kind of incredible and eye-opening for us.
No.
No, it's true though. It's true. Like I always tell Satoshi, I think I'm more of a fan of this one because Satoshi's like, okay, next time. But I want to go back to Shimokitazawa to try that spice ramen. Not the spicy one, but the spice ramen, the curry one.
Yeah.
That one, it's really hard for me to forget. Because it was so different and it was so deep and it was just so interesting to me. And then the other place that Satoshi and I want to go back is a place in, I think it was Ebisu. Was it Ebisu? The old school style ramen, the one that looks really beautiful with the clear soup, and they make the wonton in-house.
Oh, in Meguro, Kazuya.
Meguro.
Kazuya, right? That place is so good, right?
Oh my goodness.
So good.
Believe it. It's so good. And that, and also the vegan places that you took us.
In Shibuya. Yeah,
that was an eye opener for me as well, because it tasted just like normal good ramen. I would have expected it to taste more healthier, but it didn't.
No, it still had a wonderfully deep flavor, right? Yeah, those such good bowls. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Nikki M93 says, "What is the craziest ramen you've both eaten?"
I think probably maybe one of the ones from our videos, right? Or your videos that I was in. you know, from that list, I thought the coffee ramen was pretty crazy, right?
The coffee ramen.
That one
That
stands out,
one.
I think, a lot.
Yeah, this one, we'll tell you the truth right now. Satoshi's very polite, so he doesn't like to say something's bad, or he's very open-minded when it comes to everything. Well, food,
Mhm.
and when backstory, Frank, as soon as he took a bite of the ramen, I remember him telling me he almost threw up. You remember? And, and
I had trouble with that one.
you look. I mean, you didn't. Your face looked like you didn't even want to talk to the owner. I mean,
no. He was such a nice owner. But wait, and you're talking about my reaction, right? Because I think
your reaction.
Satoshi liked it, right? Yeah, because
He
Satoshi was
did.
actually he was digging it, right? It was like the polar opposite reactions.
Yeah, he really liked it. Yeah.
But,
If you guys haven't seen that video, please go watch it. It's wait, what was that? That was a unique ramen video. Was it unique ramen? Unique ramen. And
yeah, we visited 3 places, right? Sorry, go ahead.
Three places. I don't remember the other 2.
No, we had cheese ramen, tsukumo, in Ebisu.
That's right.
So kind of Parmesan cheese almost, like cheese on top, right? On top of a creamy tonkotsu. And then what else do we have? The other place we went to. What did we have for the third one? Oh, you know where we went? We went to Mensho in Shinjuku. The fried chicken, like or the deep fried. It wasn't just the fried chicken. Yeah, the gobo, exactly, like that place.
That's right.
They've actually rebranded their shop. So
they did?
I haven't been since they changed.
Really? Have they changed the name as well?
I think they're keeping the same name, but they're doing ramen burgers. So maybe we could do another video there and show their ramen burgers.
That would be great. Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
And they were really nice people there too as well. So
very accommodating.
Yeah, very accommodating. But that was definitely the most unique ramen for me as well too. I would not be able to do it again. I think I took 1 bite as well.
From the coffee ramen?
The coffee ramen.
Yeah.
I mean, even from the start, I wasn't really like excited to try it.
Yeah.
It was kind of scary for me, seeing the whipped cream and the cherry and the kiwi fruit, and you remember that?
Yeah. Well, it was just that weird mix of like salty shoyu, right? And then the coffee wasn't that bitter, but it's just like 2 things that don't normally go together. But as I'm sure you felt, like what made the place so magical was that it was a very cute couple, right? The owner and his wife, like I guess they're co-owners. Like it was a nice coffee shop, right? That just happened to have some weird ramen.
It was, but I do have to mention again how miserable you looked. You looked so miserable.
I was having a hard time with that one.
You were very, like, yes, it's quite unique and it's interesting. And after we stopped filming, you're like, no, never again.
Once is enough. Yeah, that was tough, but I'm glad we did it. It made for a fun video. So
yeah, that's so funny. And let's see, I saw another one. Oh yeah, chocolate ramen. Have you tried that before?
So there's what was it? Menya Musashi.
Yeah.
I think the last time I had chocolate ramen. So they're like a ramen chain. Well respected ramen chain. I think pretty popular with visitors too. And one year they did a Valentine's Day chocolate skemen.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, so I had that, and that was a couple of years ago. I haven't had one since then. I think they and some other ramen shops have kind of done that February 14th ramen, right?
Yeah.
So outside of that, I haven't had any. I think they were using, what is it called? Mole, like in Mexican cuisine, right? Kind of like a more savory chocolate. So it wasn't like as sweet. It was sweet and savory, let's say, more savory. Have you?
No, never. I've always been kind of scared. Intriguing, but like when you say it, when you explain it, it sounds delicious. When you say it's kind of like mole and on the savory side, but I was expecting it to be kind of sweet, like
right.
and I just couldn't imagine.
Yeah, just from the, looking at it saying chocolate ramen or skemen, and you look at the broth, it's a little bit like, kind of like the coffee ramen. Like, okay, maybe I will tread carefully. But I
Yeah.
think they did a good job. They're a great ramen shop, and it
Mhm.
was more on the savory side. So I was reluctant, but after having it, I was like, hey, this is pretty good.
Okay, that's good to know. So maybe
Yeah,
if they do it again, maybe I'll try it.
yeah, you
Yeah.
should. Yeah, give it a try.
Listen, Chris Hansen is asking, how
Yes.
is Frank dressing his noodles on the daily? What would he do if preparing from scratch? Mole is
Mhm.
interesting.
So preparing ramen from scratch. I think there were two parts of that question, right?
Yeah.
Was it
Hmm.
was it the first part was like, what would I do like to prepare
Yeah.
ramen from scratch? Was it?
How are you dressing your noodles? Like what do you put on
Mhm.
top, I guess, right? Or
Like
what do
toppings?
you make it interesting? Yeah.
So maybe we'll cover the whole the whole spectrum. I
Yeah.
think I'm a shoyu guy, and we were talking earlier about maybe making ramen at home. I'm sure I won't reach Satoshi's level quite yet from the sound of things, but
That'd be
I do like
interesting.
shoyu ramen. So maybe like
Mhm.
a soy sauce seasoning, maybe mixed with bonito fish flakes. So a little bit of a fish accent that maybe comes from bonito fish flakes or even niboshi, dried sardines.
Mhm.
In addition to maybe shiitake mushrooms as well, something like that, or even like negi. So that'll be maybe my seasoning. I think as
Mm.
to the stock, maybe a blend of both chicken and pork bones would be nice with a fair amount of vegetables, maybe 5+ vegetables. This could include
Mm.
carrots, shiitake mushrooms, negi, maybe some
Wow.
ginger. This is what I'm envisioning. And then for the noodles, maybe if it's a lighter broth, like kind of a thinner, more silky noodles like the instant ramen we had. And for the
Mhm.
toppings, I think, using those negi again, I would maybe do a slow cooked sous vide style pork, and
Ooh.
also memma for bamboo shoots, and then of course a fantastic egg. Now, all of this sounds great in theory. It doesn't mean I can do a good job. I made this very nice picture, but whether it turns out like that is another story completely, right?
Wow, that's amazing.
No, no, no. It sounds amazing,
Amazing.
but yeah, making it's another thing.
Yeah, ramen is quite difficult. And I'm surprised. I didn't know that shoyu ramen was your favorite, actually.
I think maybe like you. Miso is number two, right?
Mhm.
What would you put at number one, Shinichi?
Number one.
Yeah, from if you had a favorite, like
Or if I had a favorite. Oh, okay, my favorite. Oh, this one's really difficult. I'm
yeah,
actually fairly new to the ramen game. And, as I mentioned, I didn't like miso until sumire, which was
yeah, yeah.
only like like I don't know, like 5 or 6 years ago. I don't remember. And
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
before that, I didn't really like ramen, and I hated tonkotsu ramen before.
Right.
I thought it was stinky, until
Yeah.
I had a good non-stinky tonkotsu ramen, and I was like,
Mm-mm-mm.
wow, this is tonkotsu. Like I could possibly like tonkotsu. But my favorite ramen is really difficult. Hmm.
Maybe from the big four, like so let's just say shoyu, excuse me,
Yeah.
shoyu, shio, miso, and tonkotsu.
Yeah.
If miso is number two, how
Right.
would you rank shoyu, shio, and tonkotsu?
Okay. So shoyu will be. I have to say it's probably number one.
Number
Uh,
one.
yeah, only because I think shoyu ramen done right is
Yes.
amazing. It's like the most amazing soup ever, and I could
Mm-mm-mm.
probably eat that anytime.
Yeah.
Where tonkotsu, I have to be in the mood for it. I have to be particularly hungry for something rich and thick.
Mm.
Uh, so shoyu has to be number one. Second is miso, because
Miso.
miso. I feel like eating miso ramen when I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. I don't know why. It's very
Yeah.
comforting for me. And then it will be uh, shio and tonkotsu is very difficult because I haven't really
Yeah.
had really good shio ramen. It's very difficult for
Mm.
me. I haven't had it enough, I think, to be able to judge.
We need to go
And
have some good shio. Sorry. Continue.
we do. I'm pretty sure you know a lot of good shio ramen. Oh, Melissa,
Yes.
yeah, no. So someone said I didn't know there were so many different types of ramen. There's actually more than that, Melissa.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're talking about the big four, right? My
before.
ranking is probably shoyu, miso, or shio, and then tonkotsu, but it's pretty close. And I think beyond the big four, I mean, there's soupless ramen, there's tantan men, there's
There's also
tanmen,
the
there's
fish-based one, right?
there's
The
fish-based ramen. You can have niboshi ramen as a category, that dried
ramen.
sardines that I mentioned.
Mhm.
And because ramen is relatively new, you've got all these like different branches of ramen like starting.
Right.
It's awesome, right? Even
Mhm.
within shoyu, right? Soy sauce
Mhm.
ramen, you've got all these different styles. Tokyo soy sauce ramen is very different from Kyoto soy sauce ramen, for
Oh,
example.
yes, definitely, definitely. And also Ieke ramen. We
Yeah.
recently tried Ieke ramen instant noodle. I think it's from
Okay.
Family,
Okay.
and they're
Yeah.
collaborating
Yeah.
with the original one in
Oh,
Yokohama.
Yoshimura. Yeah. Yeah.
I think so. But it was actually pretty tasty. It
Yeah.
tasted
Yeah.
like what you would eat at the Ieke restaurant. At
Mm-mm-mm.
first, when I tried Ieke, I was a little bit not confused. I wasn't sure what it was
Yeah.
trying to be. I mean, that's how it seemed to me. But now I
That's a
kind of
good
get
way to
it.
put it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
No,
I
I think
didn't
that
know.
makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, there's so much. There's so much. Um, and really, so some best fresh noodles in Tokyo. Chris Hansen says. Do you know the
Right.
question? Do you know the answer to that? Best fresh noodles in Tokyo.
Best
I don't
fresh
know.
noodles. Well, I think, ramen shops, like they're serving fresh noodles, right? The good ones. I think,
Yes.
the really
Yeah.
cheap, like, big chains, like chains are fine, but maybe some of the big chains that serve half-priced ramen, I think
Uh-huh.
they're not going to be as fresh. But most places, like high-level ramen shops, they're fresh. I mean, they deliver
True.
the noodles, every day, maybe every
Yeah.
2 days. So every place has fresh noodles, but there are some very like prestigious noodle making companies. It doesn't mean
Oh.
they're fresher or they get there quicker, but some
Mhm.
places are known for having, even fresher. For example, Asakusa Kai Karo, they're a noodle manufacturer and they're one of the biggest in Tokyo, one of the most famous. So
Really?
even within the noodle making world, respectable ramen shops, high level ramen shops will sometimes order from one of those places.
Interesting. That's very interesting. Dark Paracord is asking, is there such a thing as
Yes,
natto ramen?
natto ramen. So
Yeah.
there is,
There is.
there is. I think people,
Oh my
first of all, before that, I think
Okay.
people like to add it maybe to, cup noodle. For example, curry cup noodle can go, natto can go well with that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's also a shop in Shinjuku called Horiuchi, and they specialize. I mean, it's one of their shoyu ramen, but they put natto on
Right.
top, and it's in the heart of Shinjuku, and that's one of the things they're known for.
Really? Have you tried it
Yeah.
before?
Yes, yes.
How was it?
It's good. It's good. I'm not a big natto guy that much personally,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
but I liked it. I liked it. It's fun. And it made for a great photo. That sticky kind of dramatic pull up.
That's amazing. Okay, so here's another thing. Because someone said, someone's
Yeah.
mentioning about Ichiran, and
Mm.
Dark Paracord says, I like my Ichiran, and I will go to the grave with them if they don't agree. But we've made Ichiran videos, and half of the comments, especially from Japanese viewers, they say,
Yeah.
Ichiran is really overrated. Especially among
Mm-mm-mm.
the Japanese people, they're like, eh, Ichiran, maji? Like,
Right, right, right.
so what's your opinion about Ichiran ramen, since you're a professional?
Professional is a very strong word, but as someone I guess that eats a lot of ramen, I
Mm,
think with any of like the really big successful chains, I mean, there's always maybe going to be an asterisk mark next to them, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think, they've been successful for good reason, though. They've done very well. I think their whole, individual booth concept is very important nowadays too, right? With the current
Yeah.
situation. But
For
putting that
sure. Yeah.
aside, and maybe some people feel like it's kind of a theme park, right? And I can understand that. But in terms of like flavor, like I grew
Mhm.
up eating a lot of Ichiran, so for me, there's like an emotional connection.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
I'm not gonna wait like an hour and a half like to eat Ichiran just because you can get it everywhere. I'm always trying to have new bowls. So on the one
right.
hand, personally, I really like it just because it's a taste I grew up being familiar with. And
Hmm.
you know what to expect, right? Any Ichiran you go to, it's gonna be, that good flavor, right?
True.
So
True.
so on the one side, it's very convenient, you know what to expect. On the other side, like, yeah, it is a chain. So I understand both sides, and it gets the job done. And I think the customization is fun, right?
It is.
You can decide what you want. So that's how I feel about it.
That's true. That's true. I agree with you. Like the first time I tried Ichiran was like way after I started to become a ramen connoisseur, quote unquote.
Mm,
Um, and so I kind of demand a good bowl of ramen when I go out. And
mm.
but I finally had to try Ichiran because everyone was talking about it, and I tried it. And to be honest with you, the first time I went, it was only like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Uh, like I didn't feel like it was the best, right? Like it didn't wow me in any
Mm,
way,
right.
but I do understand because it is a good bowl of ramen. It's a solid bowl of
Yeah.
tonkotsu ramen, um, and so I can see that if you've never had a good bowl of tonkotsu ramen, it would be an amazing bowl of ramen because they do it so
Yeah.
well. I think, but there are like a lot of really amazing bowls of tonkotsu ramen here in this city. So yeah, that's
No,
not really an answer, but
no, that's a good way to summarize it. I think, Ichiran has a place, right? And if you haven't
yeah,
had it before, like, have Ichiran, but maybe also try some other bowls of amazing tonkotsu ramen that are out there. You can even compare, right? You might have a new
yeah,
favorite. If
yeah,
Ichiran is still your number one tonkotsu, that's fine too.
yeah,
And beyond, I think tonkotsu ramen's like, the most popular outside of Japan, right? Maybe miso ramen too. But if you haven't
mhm,
tried some of the other styles we talked about, shoyu
yeah,
and shio, give them a try. It's a
yeah,
very refined ramen. It often is. So yeah, have a jump into those.
right. So Merry Christmas is asking, can
Yes.
you
Merry
answer?
Christmas to you too.
No, that's her
Oh
name
no, no,
actually.
I know.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right, okay, sorry,
I
sorry.
was just saying Merry Christmas. Yeah.
Can Frank answer if he's ever been to Ramen Ninnikuya in Higashicho Kogane?
I have not.
Have you heard of it?
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't think I've been.
Oh, is it?
What?
Yeah, interesting. Merry Christmas lives in New York, so it's amazing
Okay.
how she knows about this place. I
Wow.
even I haven't heard of it.
I'll
Yeah,
have to look it up. I'm guessing it's a garlicky bowl.
yeah. Have you tried pizza ramen before?
Um, Pizza ramen at Ajitoism.
Ajito is
They yeah, have we I guess we haven't gone in the past, but there's a shop in Oimachi called Ajitoism,
mm-hmm.
and they do a pizza skemen or dipping
Hmm.
ramen, and they've got like pepperoni there. They've also got bell peppers, so some things you'd see on pizza. Also, like it's a tomato base, and they got cheese as well. So
Oh,
that's the closest thing I've had to pizza ramen, but in skemen form, dipping ramen form.
interesting. Was it good?
It's good. It's good. Yeah, they're very well respected.
Really?
It's interesting, but they got skemen noodles. There's certain like ramen things that still maybe bring it back to being ramen.
Wow, that's interesting. We've actually made ramen pizza at home. So it's
No
not like
kidding.
pizza ramen, but it's ramen pizza. Yeah,
How
like
did it turn out?
it's actually very good. It's tasty. You make
Ooh.
it with instant ramen. and then you kind of flatten it out like into a pancake,
Ah, right,
and,
right.
and you make both sides crispy, and then you top it off with cheese and all your toppings, and then
Ah,
it turns to ramen pizza, and you can actually eat it. It's crispy, so you can eat it with your hands. It's actually
right.
quite delicious, actually. I said
Interesting. So
actually
it's kind
twice.
of like the ramen burger. I mean,
Yeah,
in like similar concept, right? Like where you have
yeah,
the
yeah,
crispy outside. Okay.
exactly. Oh, okay. So Merry Christmas says that that place she
Hmm.
was talking about, you can
Yeah.
crush fresh garlic into the ramen, and they have other things in front of you to customize. I see. I see. Okay.
Oh,
Right.
and they're open super late too, huh? So a good
Yeah.
5 a.m. ramen, I think candidate. I'll have to have a visit there. Maybe when things settle down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've bookmarked that.
Okay. So
Fantastic.
Aiden Makino is asking, is
Yeah.
there a ramen dish you feel went too far and ruined the dish?
Ah.
Coffee ramen for sure, but
Yeah, coffee ramen maybe takes the cake there or takes the coffee.
yeah.
Um, there was, branching off that, we didn't have a chance to go there, Shinichi, but there was a ramen shop about 15 years ago, or maybe a little
Yeah.
bit longer. But you know how in Japan they've got the ice cream like with the it's kind of like a square shaped cone, like the edible cone, right? But it's a soft
Okay.
cone, like the kind you can get in the vending machine, right?
Right, right. Okay, okay.
Um, yeah, but the whole thing is almost like a cone. Anyways, there was a ramen shop
Mm.
before that had put two of those in their shoyu ramen.
The
So
oh,
with the
really?
cone and the ice cream, yeah, they just dumped
With
them
the
in there.
ice
So
cream?
with the ice cream. And I
Oh,
think, that place probably went too far. I don't think they're around anymore, but they were clearly just going for shock value. And, that
right.
can be fun too, right? You get your Instagram photo, but that was, I think, more for, yeah, just being shocking. I mean, if the ice cream made sense, like, I don't know, there's a little bit to add, creaminess to one of the toppings, for example, but this was just
Right.
like pure shock. So I think with that one, they went too far.
Yeah. Did you eat it? Did you actually eat it?
I never had it actually.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty deep and I was tempted to go, but never got
Yeah.
around to it.
Wow, that's wow, that's I can't even imagine. Well, I can imagine
That
it
was too
would,
much.
like, yeah, I mean the ice cream would add some creaminess to it, but then with the vanilla flavor and
Yeah.
interesting. It's
It,
very
it could
interesting.
it could work if it was a smaller amount, but I think yeah, that was a bit too much maybe.
Right. So Aina Makino again is asking, so the insanely spicy ramen you can get doesn't take it too far in your opinion?
So like is it spicy enough, I guess, right? Or not or not spicy enough?
Yeah.
Is the
Like
question, right?
actually the spicy ramen that you and Satoshi had, the one I didn't eat,
Mm.
do you think that took it too far?
Oh yeah, that one definitely did. But for people that have even better spice tolerances than us, I
Mm,
mean, maybe it didn't go too far. But spice is a funny thing, right? I think everyone has, a preference as to what is too spicy or not. And
right.
maybe you feel the same way, Shinichi. But I think balance is, going back to that keyword balance, right? I think balance
Mm,
is key. Like with this,
that's right.
instant ramen, for example, it's a very good balance between spice and also, in this case, sesame. So
Hmm.
if there's too much spice, the sesame is drowned out. But I think also you have your moods, right? Where you just want to have super spicy food and super spicy ramen, right? And on
Yeah.
those days, like that hits the spot. So I guess to each their own.
Mm,
But in the case of the place that we went to that day where we suffered tremendously, I think maybe that was a little bit too much.
yeah.
But that they knew what they were doing, right? I think
Mm,
like the whole point was to be like, hey, we have the spiciest ramen in the universe. This is crazy. Why don't you challenge yourself, right? So,
right. And
they were, yeah,
they did mention that one
yeah,
of their customer actually ate the whole bowl, and
yes.
he declared it
Instant.
finally a ramen that I consider spicy enough for me, or something like that.
I think that person was not from this planet.
Probably
With
not.
that, no. I cannot, like, that person has an iron stomach, honestly. I cannot imagine you finishing that, even going 1/3 of the way through.
I
Crazy.
was I was scared after that. I actually thought you guys were like playing, like acting, acting dramatic for the camera. I actually thought that when I was filming behind the camera, and
Yeah.
I thought Satoshi was acting dramatically. He was like, oh, I'm like, そんなに辛くないでしょ? He's like, no, it really is.
Yeah. Correct.
I'm like,
Oh my God.
本当に辛いんだ. And like you said, he has a very high tolerance level. So
Yeah.
um, if he's suffering that much, I was like, okay, I'm staying away. Yeah.
You made the right call. I'm sure it was the same for Satoshi, but that was it took a couple of days to recover from that, I think.
Right. So
Yeah.
Chris Hansen says, I'm not sure what
Yes.
this means. Does Frank gnaw on the bones, or is he very proper?
Oh, I see. So maybe like with chicken wings or something. Maybe
Oh, okay.
I think when no one's watching, I'll gnaw on the bones, get it all off, don't let it go to waste. But maybe I think in certain situations, right? I don't know where you'd eat chicken wings if you have a business meeting, but you probably don't want to make too much of a mess.
True. Okay, so I have some ramen that Satoshi and I we picked up at this store that specialize in instant ramen. Just instant ramen. They have like I think 1,000, even more than 1,000 varieties of instant ramen, and the store staff is very knowledgeable. It's amazing. And she was saying she eats like 400 to 500 packages of instant ramen a year. So she's like the
Wow.
salesperson for the place. So I've shown some of you guys these before, but so this is called the Zom ramen. I guess short for zombie. No, wait, Zombear Living Dead. I don't know. And it says Hokkaido only, so it must be a Hokkaido thing. And I wonder what flavor this is. Have you ever seen this before? Oh,
I've seen it but haven't had it. And you'll have to excuse me. My screen in front of me here from before froze, so I'm actually looking at the ramen from the other screen. I've been
really?
I've been
Okay.
trying to picture your reactions, Shinichi. So I'm looking at that now, the Zomi ramen.
Yeah, zombie ramen. And this one
That looks
is a
crazy.
garashio aji. So gara, what does that mean? Gara. Nan no gara? Chicken or
What
わかんない。
does it say?
It says garashio aji.
Garashio aji?
なんだろう。
Because gara is like from bones, right?
Bones, right? So what kind of bones?
Garashio. Maybe zombie bones.
Zombie bone. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, because it says gara in katakana there, right? And then shio aji, yeah, like salty bones. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to be edgy with the packaging there.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. I agree with you. It does not look appetizing because the noodles look blue. I just noticed it. Look. It's blue noodles here.
Crazy.
Wow. Okay. This one, Lucky Piero. Hamburger Lucky Piero. Do you know Lucky Piero?
Yeah, and Hakodate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Shiawase miso ramen. So kind of looking forward to that.
Very cool.
And this one, Otomen. What do you think? Very nice packaging. I love the funky packaging.
Wow.
And I don't know what taste it's supposed to be. A tantamen. It's a tantamen. Yeah.
Mhm.
And this one I kind of seen around, but I've never tried it. Arabian yakisoba.
Interesting.
Yeah. And you would think, I just assumed because this is Arabian, I thought maybe it would taste like curry. But she said no, it's yakisoba, not curry.
Huh.
And then finally,
Interesting.
mayo ramen. And this is also, I think only sold in Hokkaido as well. and it's tonkotsu mayonnaise flavor ramen. I don't know
That
if I don't know if it's mayo flavored soup or noodles or what. Very, very unique.
that packaging is awesome.
Yeah, it is. But yeah.
That's how I looked after I had the coffee ramen. That was the same expression, I think.
No, you looked a little more disgusted, I think.
Yeah,
I
maybe more upside down.
Okay, but Frank, yeah, one other thing I forgot. I wanted to ask you,
Yes.
and I think this would be very interesting for everybody here. So, what's going on with the ramen restaurants during this pandemic?
Yeah, very, very good question. A lot of places have started off for takeout just
Hmm.
because, there's less people on the street, even though Tokyo's ended its lockdown, people are not going out as much, of course. So takeout ramen, delivery ramen, Uber Eats. I think you guys did Uber Eats video recently, right? And
Yes.
or did a few, was it? But and on top of that, some places are actually making frozen or refrigeratable ramen that you can
Oh,
assemble at home.
oh,
So you
interesting.
go online. So
Yeah.
this is just one way that they're innovating, bringing the ramen to you at home.
Wow. And so you order it online and you can get it delivered. Is that how it
Yeah,
works?
yeah. So
Oh,
it's like reito ramen, and it'll be the in the packaging, it'll be frozen. Costs a little bit more to deliver it that way, but
yeah.
everything is separated. The soup, the toppings, and the noodles. Toss them in the fridge or freezer, and then heat everything up in boiling water.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. And are the ramen restaurants have they been open throughout the state of emergency that we had in Japan?
Right. They pretty much have. I'm sure you noticed the same thing, right? Some restaurants were closed, some were open. I
Yeah.
think if they were closed, they would have gotten a little bit of stimulus from the government if they agreed to close during that period. But ramen shops stayed open, but just with shorter hours, right? Because I think, during the lockdown, it was until 8 p.m., right? That they
Right.
could be open until.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but I was talking to a lot of the ramen shops, and some of them saw like a 90% drop in revenue or sales during that
Wow.
period.
Wow.
Crazy. So they were making 10% of what they used to. So
Uh,
microwavable, or excuse me, frozen, ramen is one way for them to, yeah, maybe help themselves out.
I see. I see. Well, it's good. It's good to know. Like I read somewhere in an article that if if well, obviously the state of emergency has been lifted, so that's good. We don't know what's going to happen in the near
Yeah.
future, but I read an article that like if this continues for like 4 months, like a lot of small businesses
Yeah.
might have to close down because it's affecting sales really
Yeah.
bad. Yeah.
No, most definitely. It's quite sad. So I guess, in that way, it's good for us, delivery or takeout included, to support those businesses, right? Make sure that
Yeah.
we, order from them,
Hmm.
because,
Yeah.
yeah, I think there's so many around the world that are in danger of, yeah, going bankrupt, right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's quite
True.
sad.
It is, yeah, it really is. So how have you been? I didn't ask you, but how have you
Mm.
been throughout the state of emergency? If once again, if you're new and just joining us, thank you for being here. This is Frank from 5am Ramen. He has a YouTube channel as well as do tours of ramen tours here in Tokyo. Obviously, not now, but what's happening with your ramen tours during this
Hmm.
time? Because I'm
Yeah,
sure
they've
it's changed.
no, it's been tough. I think anyone in the hospitality or travel industry has been hit hard, but of course around the world we're all hurting in one way or another. And
Mhm.
yeah, the ramen tours are completely on hold. The last ones were um, in March. When people were still coming, but then of course after a certain point, it's like, okay, no more travel. And even though there were some requests, I thought it would just be best not to hold them at all until it's maybe safe and appropriate to do so. So yeah, the tours are suspended until further notice.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what 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 was it like? Well, I was going to ask you, how did you feel about all that? And that's a stupid question.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
it's no, it's
I'm
a
just
fair question.
I'm wondering, what was going through your mind, because this was your livelihood, right?
Yeah,
And, and you were booked,
yeah,
and you're just entering the busy season as well, and then all this happened. So
yeah.
how did you deal with all that?
No, it's a very fair question. I think, for a lot of us, what do they say? There's like the stages, there's like the anger, the denial, all those emotions, right? And
Yeah,
for both of you guys too, I mean, this was going to be a banner year for Japan, right? This is going to be a banner year for Tokyo.
yeah.
And the Olympics included. This was going to be a record year, I think, for Tokyo, ramen tours. But
Mm,
it was not to be, and of course there was frustration associated with that. You know, for people in the hospitality industry, you
mhm,
guys as well with your YouTube videos. A lot of people coming to Japan watch those videos for content. So it's affected us all, I guess, is what I'm saying, in the
mhm.
grand scheme of things. And
Yeah.
after that initial frustration, maybe it was the same for both of you. I think you know the situation sucks, but we have to make the best of it. And at the end of the day, if you have a roof over your head and you have food to eat, you're in a very
Mhm.
good place. And there are people that are not as, fortunate, right? So
Mm.
at the end of the day, again, it sucks, but um, we're still very lucky that
Yeah,
we have our health, right? And you and I, for
yeah.
example, we're having this conversation, both of
Mhm.
us being healthy. So yeah, we
Right.
have a lot to be fortunate for, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Good. I'm happy. I think yeah, the same. I went through
Yeah.
my stages, and uh Satoshi is like a panicky person. So I mean, like I get panic attacks, but I'm not really a panicky person. And he's like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do? We can't travel anymore.
Yeah.
We have a travel channel. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
When is it gonna end?" And so, of course, we had to think about, like, we had just separated our channels so that the travel could just be travel videos, and then now it's like we don't travel anymore. So
Yeah.
we're trying to bring back, we're trying to get creative, but we also
Mm.
needed to bring back some of the food reviews.
Yeah.
Maybe we could, it's like, like videos, like we could still feel like we're traveling at home by
Mm,
ordering
mm, mm.
um, stuff from Kyoto or something, having it
Yeah.
delivered
Yeah.
here, and we're like, oh my gosh, but this is like a food review channel now, oh my God, we really have to think about our future. And then thinking that, like the traveling may not happen for the rest of the year, we really had to think about our channel. And yeah, we just went through different stages,
Yeah.
denial, acceptance. Accepting took a while, but yeah, like you said, we have to focus. We try to focus on, what we have, and that, things could be a lot worse for us. Like you said, we have a roof over our heads, and we're not going through this alone.
Mm,
And
mm.
yeah, we have a lot to be grateful for. So it's a shitty time, but
Yeah.
I think we can do something. I think we can do
No,
something.
exactly. No, I
Yeah.
think you both have pivoted as well, it's we have to make some adjustments, and there I think the fact that you both, like, I'm sure you both have been supporting each other and everything, right? It's a tough time, but
Mhm.
it's a time for us to also maybe, reset our priorities and things like that. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess there's always a silver lining, and it's tough to tell
Mhm.
ourselves this sometimes, right? Like, because,
Mhm.
it's still surreal, but
It
yeah,
is.
it's, we have to make the best of it, I think, as you said.
Yeah. So I was happy, well, once I saw you putting out videos on your channel, because I know before you were, simply too busy because you were doing the tours, and I saw you putting out the videos, the proper videos,
Yes,
and
yes, yes. Finally.
proper videos. I'm like, and that was telling me that you had, sort of, you're trying to make the best out of a bad situation, and I was like, that's good for you, Frank, and yeah, and so that's why yeah, I was very interested in doing this with you as well, so this is great, and I'm thinking we could do more of this collaboration online for the time being. um, I know that the state of emergency has been lifted in Japan, but we really don't know which way it's gonna go because right? Because they said they're gonna
Yeah,
give a warning if the numbers don't go down because it is kind of going up
yeah,
again. So we have
yeah.
no idea how it's gonna go, but yeah, but we can get creative and we can do other stuff.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I think the next time what I want to do, you suggested that we try delivery ramen,
Mm-mm.
and 'cause since we haven't done that yet, so that would be kind of interesting, and that way we can. I personally would be interested to see what kind of ramen you'll get because you usually choose
Yes.
something awesome. So
No, that would be
yeah.
great. We could try two different types, for example. That would be a lot of fun.
All right, guys. So sorry, I'm missing a lot of your messages. I'm looking at the comments now. Can you rewrite your questions again? I missed that question for sure. Once again, the last 5 minutes. If you have any questions for Frank, please write it down here. Oh, Merry Christmas is asking, why not make a
Yes.
travel from bedroom to the living room? Make it a huge production. True, that's a good idea. Oh, one thing I'm doing, I'm more focused on right now is trying to make this apartment a more like a place that I want to be in all the time. That's what I'm doing right now. Like I put new wallpaper in the bathroom,
Mm.
just one wall, because I suck at this. I couldn't do the whole room, and I changed the floor of the bathroom just to make it more
Ah.
spa like, and yeah, I'm just trying to make it more comfortable so I enjoy my time at home.
Well, that's
Yeah,
the thing, right? That's a good, it's another thing that's you're able to do now, right? You both are busy as well, and gives us a little bit more time maybe to, make our home cozier, interior
yeah,
decorating included, right?
yeah, exactly. And I don't know, you know yesterday, Satoshi and I, we decided to sort of head outside our area because we haven't really been out,
Mm.
of this area, and
Mm.
we, hopped on the train, and I gotta say, it felt very weird. It feels
Mm.
strange
Yeah,
after 2 months of not going on the train, and still scary, and yeah, it's surreal. It's really weird.
it is. It is. The city feels so different.
It
Yeah.
does. It really does. Okay, two more questions for you, Frank. Number one, Janet is asking,
Sure.
Frank, do you live
Yes.
alone?
No, I live with my wife.
Yes, he has a wife, and we know his wife. She's very pretty, charming, and very intelligent, and very nice person. Yeah,
Much
we
more
know.
intelligent than me.
Oh, no. And then the second question would be any ramen that you haven't tasted, Frank?
Any ramen that I haven't tasted?
Yeah.
No, there's plenty. Ramen is a never-ending journey, and there's a lot of ramen. On my Tokyo to-do list, I've got so many shops I haven't been to. There are areas of Japan that I haven't still had their regional ramen, and so no, it's
True,
it's
true.
it's a long list. Even though I've made a fair dent, there's so many places, and there are always new places opening too, right? And
Right.
it's a catch up. It's always a catch up.
It's true. And Minty's mom is asking, Frank, what is your favorite
Mhm.
Japanese food outside of ramen?
Good question. Oh, I really do like sushi a lot.
Yeah,
Um,
really.
yeah, sushi. I think, let's see. Udon, soba, of course, for the noodles.
The noodles.
Um,
Right.
I do like Japanese curry rice. Of course, I like, Indian, Thai curries,
Mm.
and curry in general, but Japanese curry rice hits the spot. Tonkatsu is nice too, but I think sushi might be number two after ramen.
Really, sushi. Interesting. So, sushi wise, what's your favorite kind of sushi? Nigiri
That's a good
sushi,
question.
inari sushi, maki sushi, oshi sushi.
I like nigiri maybe, but I also like maki. Yeah, I think for nigiri and I with it in terms of the fish, I really like engawa.
Engawa.
Yeah.
Really? Sugoi.
I think that's surpassed uni. How about for you both? What's your favorite fish at a sushi shop?
Okay, definitely not uni for me.
It's an
Uni is
acquired
something
taste.
yeah, definitely. It looked, like first time I had uni, I thought it was like, something else. But no, I've
Yeah.
had uni twice. I think what
Okay.
ruined uni for me was that the first time I had uni, it was probably old and kind of smelly.
Mm,
And the people later on told me I had to have the really fresh one. Uh,
uh,
but that's something I'm not a huge fan of. But my favorite is definitely,
mm,
it has to be maguro is my favorite.
mm.
And it's not toro. I don't really care for toro. It's too fatty for
Yeah,
me.
I see.
Chuno, okay, but I do like a good piece of akami, the tuna.
Yes.
Like it a lot. And Satoshi's
I
favorite is hotate.
Hotate is great.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Two very different choices, huh? With the maguro and the hotate.
yes, yeah, exactly. And Hikaru Rain is asking, what is your favorite dessert?
Favorite dessert.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
I like I like custard.
Custard.
Like a custard filled donut is.
Oh, okay.
I've got a weak spot for that. Also I think the Yukimi Daifuku.
Yeah.
So Yukimi Daifuku, for everyone's reference, is like mochi with ice cream inside, and they have it at the convenience stores. I really like that.
Mhm, mhm.
And yeah, how about both of you? What are your favorite desserts?
Oh, that's
Oh,
difficult.
that's two. That's
I
two.
Yeah, I think Satoshi's favorite is pudding, Japanese
Oh
pudding.
my God, pudding's another one. Forgot about that one.
And he also likes castella a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Those
Castella's
two.
great too.
Yeah. And my favorite is really difficult. I like ice cream.
Ice
Uh,
cream hits the
I
spot.
really like ice cream, but in the summertime. But I also like cookies. And I like
What
cakes.
kind of cookies?
Chocolate chip cookies is my
Chocolate
favorite.
chip cookies. Ah, very nice.
Love it. And then for cakes, it would be a toss up between chocolate cake, a good piece of chocolate cake, and cheesecake. Like a good New York
Oh,
style cheesecake is really tough for me right there. So nice word
I'm with
again.
you there.
Frank, do you eat balut?
Yes, I do.
Really interesting. Can you find balut here in Japan?
I haven't seen it. My mom used to bring back from the Philippines. I don't think that was probably allowed, but we would we would somehow she always nobody ever stopped her. But yeah, we would I would have it only because of that. But yeah, I don't think you can get it here. I don't think at any of the Filipino restaurants, and it's not like there's a bunch of them. They
Right.
serve balut. Yeah.
Have you ever been to the basement in Ueno? There's a basement. It's kind of like a wet market, and they have a lot of Filipino stores there
I
in
don't
Ueno.
think I've been.
You haven't been?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
I think I saw Balut there once.
Interesting.
Yeah, I learned about that place from my restaurant owner friend, and he goes there to look for ingredients for his Nepalese restaurant. And
Interesting.
like, what? This exists here? All the customers are non-Japanese, by the way, so it's quite interesting.
Ah,
Yeah, it's really interesting. They should check it out. It's right in the Ameoko. It's one of the buildings. Yeah, you just
Okay,
walk
okay.
Ameoko and it's like, oh, it's this building right here. You'll see like arrows pointing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you'll
I've
see like
probably passed it. No, I gotta check it out.
yeah,
I mean, once once of course things are a little
yeah,
calmer. But yeah, if they have balut, that would be fantastic. I haven't had balut actually in a couple of years.
right. And then finally, what one more question I see
Yeah.
here is um ごめん。what was it? Oh, right. Okay. Irene asked, okay, two more questions. So Irene asked, does Frank's wife like ramen?
Yes.
Yes.
But probably not as much as I do, but I guess most people probably don't like it as much as I do.
And then Dark Parker is asking, have you tried ramen in other countries?
Not as much as I would like to. Every time I've traveled, I've always been about enjoying the local cuisine, what they're proud of, and I haven't had as much ramen. But I think within the last few years, I've made it a point to have some ramen outside of Japan, made it more of a point.
Okay. And which instant noodles have you tried um, from other countries, and would other countries' noodles interest you? I guess instant noodles, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had some from, of course, the Philippines. I've had some Indonesian ones, Korean, of course, a lot of the spicy ones from there. I've had a
Yeah.
few Chinese ones before. And in the same way that I love noodles and noodle dishes from other countries, I would
Mm.
just as much, I think, enjoy their instant noodles. But I definitely haven't had as much as you guys have had in your videos, the instant noodles from around the world.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's insane. um, okay, and then finally, Merry Christmas says, have you
Yes,
guys ever had the chocolate cake from Costco?
I don't think so.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
I don't think we have it here in Japan. So, because
Yeah.
we go to Costco a lot. We haven't been since the pandemic started, but they used to have a cake called the tuxedo cake, and that was the closest to a chocolate cake that they had. They
Ah.
still have the chocolate cake here in Japan. Um, I would love to try it, but I feel like it might not be popular here in Japan. Um, I noticed that the Costco's here in Japan, they would sell something, and if it doesn't sell well, they'll discontinue it like within months. And
Mm-mm-mm.
so far, it seems like the popular ones are their cheesecake. They call it cheese tart, I think, and then their um, nani? The chestnut cake, Mont Blanc,
Mm.
it's a big one, and their strawberry trifle cake. I think only those three, and their tiramisu. It's like it comes in a bucket. I think those four desserts are the most popular because now I don't see any other cake they're selling except for the sheet cakes that you pre-order. But no, never
Ah.
chocolate one. Yeah.
I
Oh,
guess chocolate cake is not that big here. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no. Yeah, it's not that big here. Maybe. Um, and like the cakes that are popular here are a lot less sweet and more like a
Mm.
sponge cake, not the
Yeah.
dense cake that they eat. They usually sell at Costco. So I think, yeah, even the sheet cakes here. One time I bought a sheet cake from Costco for a party here in Japan, and yeah, it wasn't a hit at all.
Was it
It
didn't
wasn't. I
last?
think it was too sweet or something. For
Yeah.
the people here. Yeah,
Yeah, they
but
don't love the icing here as much, right? I think the local tastes are a little bit different. So,
it is. They prefer
mm,
like the whipped cream, the
yeah.
lighter cream, I think for sure. Well, anyway, I don't want to keep you too long. We've been chatting for an
No, no,
hour
no,
and
no.
a half.
No, no problem. No problem. It's been a pleasure, as
Yeah,
always.
but thank you so much, Frank. I almost forgot your name, Frank, for
No worries.
with us today, and it was great catching up with you. Like
No,
so great
seriously.
catching up with you.
No, thanks so much for having me. I hope when things are a little bit calmer, we can go out and grab some ramen again.
Definitely, definitely. And I hope you don't mind doing another live stream like this.
No, of
Very
course.
soon. And this is a lot of
No,
fun.
we'd
Thanks.
love to.
Yeah. Maybe you
Would
should do a
love
live
to.
stream on your channel. Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. I did one the other day. That was more from Instagram, but yeah, I
Oh,
think
okay.
I would love to have you guys as a guest, of course. That would be a lot of fun too. I'll start with a few on my side, and then yeah,
Yeah.
once it's picked up, I'll invite the legendary Tabids.
Oh, please, please. No, I think it will be a lot of fun. And this software I'm using, it's called StreamYard. It's totally free to use,
Right.
and it's easy actually. It's surprisingly easy to use. So, oh, what is your YouTube channel, Frank? Here we go, guys. I have it
Oh,
right here. There we go. That is the link, guys, to
yes.
Frank's YouTube channel. Check it out because
Thank you. Thank you.
he has a lot of interesting videos. Like, oh, this one I haven't. Oh, I didn't watch this one. Lockdown takeout ramen, fried chicken ramen, and
Oh,
then
yes.
the last one he put out was ramen expert reviews convenience store ramen. You see, he is a ramen expert, and
Well,
Tokyo
I don't
Ramen
like
Shop.
calling myself an expert, but yeah, for the title maybe. Sorry, go ahead. You're gonna say something.
But a lot of interesting ones. And you know which one I really enjoyed? I don't know
Which
why.
one?
I really enjoyed the one where you had the what do you call it? The regular cup noodles.
Ah, the one where I upgraded the cup noodles, maybe.
Yes. Yeah, that one was very interesting to me because, I mean, cup noodles is cup noodles, right?
Yes.
You wouldn't usually eat this basic cup noodles. So it was interesting. You could tell by your face that you haven't had them in quite a while.
Yeah.
And you know,
I think I said the word nostalgia like 50 times in that
nostalgia.
video. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed that one a lot. But
I
thank
had
you
a
so
lot of
much,
fun with that
guys.
one.
But thanks, guys. Please go over and check his channel out. It's really, really entertaining. And of course, once things go back to normal and you guys have start making plans to come to Tokyo, definitely try the Tokyo ramen 5 a.m. ramen tours because they're very, very informational. But that's way later on. So right now,
Yeah.
please go over and support his channel. It's great, and he's working
Thank
really,
you.
really hard, and he's a really good friend. So thanks, guys. Thank you to our moderators for being here. Thank you so much, Mindy's mom, Lidu Murasaki. Thank you so, so much. And you will definitely see Frank very soon. Thank you, Frank. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Please
Thanks
say
so
hello
much,
to your wife.
Shinichi. Will
Please say
do,
hello
will
to your
do.
wife. All right, bye,
Thanks a bunch.
everybody.